regular city council meeting to order. Invocation by OMNIBUS, followed by the pledge of allegiance.
Heavenly Father, we thank you today for giving us the opportunity to gather, to take care of city business. Please keep in mind all those here in attendance tonight. We also remember and pray for those families and friends of the young men in Assumption who lost their lives in a tragic accident. Help us tonight to make good decisions. Bless us and keep us safe. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call. Here.
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 Wrong one.
Here.
Kathy Driscoll, Jim Olive.
Here.
Driscoll Teddy,
Here.
Darren Mule.
Here.
All aldermen are present except for Driscoll. Tonight we honor the Youth of the Month. This is probably one of the most impressive Youth of the Month we've honored in the 5 years I've been mayor. As a sixth grader, she placed fifth in the state in the discus. This year in the spring 2022 season, she won the Rochester meet, she won the Chatham meet, she won the Franklin Invitational, the Pawnee meet with a throw of 96 feet 3 inches, setting a new personal and school record. She won the Franklin Invitational, the sectional at Mount Zion, where she replaced her own personal record with a throw of 96 foot 6.5 inches. And I believe she's the first female track athlete field event to ever win in the junior high at Taylorville history. The IESA state meet, she placed first with a throw of 88 feet 6 inches. Elsie also participates in TJHS volleyball, softball, concert and jazz bands, shot club volleyball, also tidal wave swim team, and she volunteers for the Christian County Youth Volleyball League and Red Blend Leagues. Let's give Elsie Williamson a round of applause. Whereas to really excel in any one sport, a young person must demonstrate, in addition to a great deal of natural ability, an outstanding spirit of dedication, enthusiasm, and hard work. And whereas Elsie Williamson became the 2022 IESA Class 7-4A state champion in the discus, now therefore I, Bruce Berry, Mayor of the City of Taylorville, do hereby proclaim July 18, 2022 as Elsie Williamson Day. Congratulations. Congratulations, there's cake in my conference room. So thank you. Motion to approve the omnibus vote designation.
So moved.
Motion by Alderman Bryant, second.
Second.
Alderman Dorchenez, questions or comments? Roll call.
Megan Bryan,
Yes.
Larry Bud,
Yes.
Steve
Yes.
Dorchenez,
Yes.
Jim Olive,
Yes.
Teddy,
Yes.
Jeremy Wilson,
Yes.
Ed Bruno.
Yes.
Motion carries 7-0. Minutes of the regular meeting held July 5th, 2022. Minutes of the Personnel Committee meeting held July 7th, 2022. Minutes of the Emergency Services Committee meeting held July 7th, 2022. Motion to approve the minutes.
So moved.
Alderman Bryant, second.
Second.
Alderman Olive, questions or comments? Roll call?
Megan Bryan,
Yes.
Larry Bud.
Yes.
Steve Dorsones,
Yes.
Jim Olive,
Olive.
Yes.
Fiscal Teddy,
Yes.
Jeremy Wilson,
Yes.
Doug Brown.
Yes.
Motion carries 7-0. Ordinance, the appropriation ordinance for the fiscal year commencing May 1st, 2022 to April 30th, 2023. This was amended earlier in the public hearing to include $2 million extra in the police, the fire, and also in the general fund. Each, right. Need a motion to approve? Motion of Alderman Bud, second.
Second.
Alderman Brown. Questions or comments? Roll call?
Larry Bud,
Yes.
Steve Dorsones,
Yes.
Jim Olive,
Yes.
Fiscal Teddy,
Yes.
Jeremy Wilson,
Yes.
Doug Brown,
Yes.
Megan Bryan.
Yes.
Mayor Barry votes yes. Motion carries 8-0. An ordinance amending section 6-4-1 of the Taylorville City Code, adding a stop sign at the southwest and northwest corners of 1100 North, 1500 East Road.
So moved.
Motion of Alderman Bryant, second.
Second.
Alderman Wilson, questions or comments? Roll call?
Steve Dorsones,
Yes.
Jim Olive,
Yes.
Fiscal Teddy,
Yes.
Jeremy Wilson,
Yes.
Doug Brown,
Yes.
Megan Bryan,
Yes.
Larry Bud,
Yes.
Mayor Barry.
Yes, motion carries 8-0. An ordinance amending the employment policy for certain non-bargaining employees. Motion by Alderman Bud, second. Alderman Skoltedi, questions or comments? Roll call?
Jim Olive,
Yes.
Fiscal Teddy,
Yes.
Jeremy Wilson,
Yes.
Doug Brown,
Yes.
Megan Bryan,
Yes.
Larry Bud,
Yes.
Steve Dorsones,
Yes.
Mayor Barry.
Yes, motion carries 8-0. An ordinance rescinding an ordinance approving and authorizing the execution of a business development district number 1 redevelopment agreement by and between the city of Taylorville, Illinois and Urban Rental Company, 109 North Chestnut. Motion by Alderman Bud, second.
Second.
Alderman Olive, questions or comments?
Is this that Pat wanted this done?
Yes, Pat did not want the 5,000 we had approved, so we need to rescind the ordinance, to give him 5,000. I talked with him personally. Roll call?
Fiscal Teddy,
Yes.
Jeremy Wilson,
Yes.
Doug Brown,
Yes.
Megan,
No.
Larry Bud,
So vote to do it is accepting his what he wants done.
It's
Right.
accepting he doesn't want our $5,000.
If you vote in favor, you're rescinding the ordinance which rejects the 5,000.
Then no. No.
Larry Bud said no.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, he said no.
Steve Dorsones,
Yes.
Jim Olive,
No.
I
Mayor
believe,
Barry.
well, Mayor Barry votes yes, the motion carries 5-3. Resolution, written policies and procedures for qualification-based selection of engineering service for federally funded transportation projects administered by the Illinois Department of Transportation. Motion to approve the resolution. Alderman Wilson, second.
Second.
Alderman Dorsones, questions or comments?
This is a resolution that your city engineer was kind enough to put together, and he's also given the city clerk, at my request, a copy of all the necessary documents that is referenced in that resolution for future reference. Thank you, Bill.
Roll call.
Jeremy Wilson,
Yes.
Doug Brown,
Yes.
Megan Bryan,
Yes.
Larry Bud,
Yes.
Steve Dorsones,
Yes.
Jim Olive,
Yes.
Fiscal Teddy.
Yes.
Motion carries 7-0. Motion to approve the Class O liquor gaming license for TC Barbershop, TC Gaming located at 1010 West Express. Motion by
So moved.
Alderman Bud, second.
I'll second with a comment.
Second, Alderman Olive, comment.
I was actually gonna vote against this, but then I see that the gentleman has already erected the building and got it all ready to go and everything, and it's kind of somewhere along the line, we got things out of proportion. It used to be if you were wanting to do something similar to what he done, you would submit, your letter requesting and where you was gonna build and everything like that. And this here, I mean, he's got all this done. So I don't know, I don't think it would be fair to shut him down now. But somewhere we didn't, matter of fact, I think Rocky brought it up the last time this came up, that we didn't have any of the paperwork or that we really needed. We need to get back on track and get things operating the way that they should. Because for some reason, I don't know, he must have had a green light to go ahead and proceed.
Alderman Bud.
Comment, yeah, and forgive me, because I could totally be wrong, but didn't we table this at the last council meeting, and he was gonna come with the plans on what he was gonna build and how he was gonna build and everything, and then we were gonna go from there? Did we receive those plans?
I received a letter from the post office giving him an address. That's one thing that Rocky said. And the building permit was on the plans, and Andy okayed the building permit, if I'm not correct.
So what did we table it for 2 weeks ago?
Because he didn't have a separate address, and also the gaming board had to approve it. We received a letter from them also.
I
That's what
don't.
It was also,
Hold on 1 second, sir. Rocky, am I correct that we were gonna see building plans and everything before we approved?
that was turned in.
Hold on, sir,
Sorry,
please.
I'm sorry.
That was the third thing. There's three things as your ordinance. You need to approve the plans, that it is a self-enclosed room, and that the gaming board licensed it for video gaming, and that it had a separate post office address. So I'm hearing that you got the address, gaming board apparently has approved it, and I assume Mr. Goodall has approved the building permit, that it is in a separate closed room, but that really needs to come to the council. That's the way your ordinance is read.
Yeah, yeah, and that was the whole point of tabling it last time, was so that we could see those first. So, I mean, I don't know what the point of saying something is and tabling it for us to review before, and then just skipping over it and deciding to put it back on here.
Okay, well, I might have been, I thought that he had to give the gaming board to approve it, and also the separate address was obviously.
No, and
Because Andy approves all the building permits.
If I remember correctly, and I'd have to go back and look because it's been 2 weeks, but you were the one that said we should table this until we saw the building plans. Pretty
No,
sure
I
that was your
said it was
suggestion.
tabled it before he gets a separate address in the gaming board.
No, I think,
I believe I said, no.
yeah, if I misspoke the last time, I think there were three things I brought to the attention of the council, and that is, Andy's not the one to approve these kind of approvals. Your ordinance very clearly says that only in a separate enclosed room where video gaming terminals are located, and the plans, dimensions, and specifications, and the location of such enclosed room has been approved by the city council, which means you folks. And the fee, $3,000, and the fact that they have to be licensed by the Illinois Gaming Board to have video terminals there, and a separate address. It sounds like you haven't seen the plan and specs, but at least the address and the approval's done. I don't know if they paid the $3,000.
Oh, yes.
Because it had an approval. Andy, do you have the plans here this evening that you can share with the council?
I can go get them, they're downstairs. It was tabled
Are
at
they
the,
actually in a separate enclosed room?
yes, it was at the Board of Appeals meeting, it was tabled because they were requesting a variance, and they didn't agree with the variance, and it was tabled at their meeting, and then once he got approved plans to that board, they approved it.
So you
Which
got it.
still can't approve.
They can approve, but you have to approve their approval.
Right. Have we approved the variance?
Yes, the
Right.
variance is approved.
Right, the Board of Appeals approved everything.
It sounds like it's gone through somebody to check for the plans and dimensions, I assume, but it should have started here. at the council, so in the future, that's where it should be.
So,
That sounds like they also had to go to the Board of Appeals because there must have been a setback issue.
There was a variance issue, correct?
right.
So at least the zoning board looked at it,
And they
but
voted.
it still needs to come back to the council for the final blessing.
Mr. Collins has had his hand up already.
Yes, I did turn in the building plans. I don't know how you guys didn't get them.
Turn them into who?
The city's clerk's office downstairs. What's her name? The city clerk.
You talking about
Did you get him, Julie?
Julie or
He's
Crystal?
not even there.
Oh, no. When did you turn him in?
Right after this last meeting, probably last Tuesday. Jessica, I know, got them. She said she was gonna give them to Julie. It was the
What do you need?
address, it was the building plans, and it was the approval from the gaming board. Actually, she talked to them in person. They called her.
Well, Julie wasn't here last week, so it must have been
She was here the week before that.
week before.
On July 6th is what he's saying, he turned them in, or 7th. July 5th was our meeting, so. Well,
Did you get him? Okay.
Alderman Scultetti?
Did somebody somewhere along the way allude to you or make you believe that it was a good idea to start that process?
You sure did. I wouldn't have done all this.
You essentially could have spent all that money and then been denied it.
Yeah, I guess, yeah, but I was okay by multiple people. Now I'm 20,000 in, and now it's like, I don't understand it really.
Yeah.
You approve 100, but not 101. There's no ordinance saying that there's too many. So I don't.
Do you know who told you that, by chance?
Well, I spoke to Bruce about it multiple times. I mean,
And I told you that it have to get council approval, that I was in favor of it, is what my exact words were. That you have to get council approval. And so, I mean,
That's part of the problem, and it's not your fault at all, and this isn't anything personal, but part of the problem with this community is they don't know how the government works in the city of Taylorville. So the mayor will say, I'm all for it, I approve it, yeah, go ahead, it'll be fine, and then nobody realizes that he only votes in a tie. So then people come up here and they're like, well, wait a second, we were told this, but now we find out there's 8 people that have to say yes. So I apologize for that, and that
Well,
really
well,
needs to stop because it's not the first
and I
time it's
take
happened.
exception to that because I was up front with him. I told him I was personally for it, but it would have to get council approval. Is that my correct statement?
yeah.
Yeah, and no, in no way in heck did I tell you to go ahead and build, but I think I hope you get council approval, because you have been a good citizen for Taylorville. You've been a
10
big
years.
supporter of our Explorer program with the police department. He's been good with our fire department, and so this gentleman wants to expand his business, and I'm not gonna get in the way of a guy expanding his own business. Now, again, so there is a motion on the floor in a second, so roll call.
Oh, you put us in a really crappy spot, Carl.
Well,
Please.
Really crappy spot.
Well, just for the record here, and I'm gonna ask Andy this, it is in an enclosed room, and it.
Yes, it's been
does
built
meet the
already.
variance of the zoning board of appeals,
Yes.
it's in a separate building,
You can
It's
see that driving
it's
by.
attached to the existing building.
but it's in a
He
separate
originally
building.
wanted to do a portable building. The Board of Appeals was not in favor of that. That's why it was tabled. He come back with new plans that included a foundation where that building would be attached to as a part of a permanent structure, not any way portable whatsoever.
And he understands that if this is approved by the council, your liquor license will only be for selling retail in that enclosed area
Yes,
on the
sir.
premises only.
Yes, sir.
Do we have all the documentation that we were talking about?
yes.
Julie, did you?
There is something in my packet that the girls gave me today. My son went and picked it up, and it is a drawing of his building. And the letter from Christian County 911 about him having a separate address. So I saw that today. Yes,
Anything from the gaming board that says he's got a license?
I don't have any from
Approved.
the game.
He has to get the city approval before he can apply for the gaming board. Correct?
I think they called her.
Yes,
He is indicating that the gaming board called you, Julie. Do you remember that phone call?
the gaming board came and saw me, but I don't remember them coming to see me about him.
Okay.
But I'm not gonna say they didn't.
Yeah. Okay.
There's a lot that come in and out, so, I don't know, they can't approve his gaming license until he gets a city liquor license. So if
Correct.
you guys don't give him the city liquor license, he will not be eligible for the gaming license.
Right, and that's how it's worked in the past. We approve it, then he applies for a gaming license. They came down, it's no different than any other place. So if that is in our ordinance, that is in there. But according to Mr. Collins, when the conversation I had, the gaming board would approve it. I've never heard of them not approving a situation. I mean, we've got other places in town like this that is a separate room, and that's what our ordinance says.
So the motion is to approve the Class O liquor license
Subject
at
to.
this location, subject to getting gaming board authorization.
Correct. Like every other one.
Another comment.
And the payment of the fee, of course.
And mine has nothing to do against you, but we got things out of sequence. We put the cart in front of the horse. Instead of doing the way that the ordinance was designed, that he would submit everything to us, we would look at it, we would approve it, and go that route, because I know that's the way we used it. What Circle K, they brought us all the information, the drawings and everything like that, and that was the rules and regulations, and the ordinance was set up to work that way. Somewhere along the road, we're not following our own rules.
Can we take a step back and do it the way we're supposed to?
He's already built the building.
I understand that, but I mean,
He built the building based off somebody telling him he should go ahead and do it. I think the big picture here is we need to let everybody in this community know how the government works here.
I did not tell him to go ahead and build the building.
And you didn't tell that lady over there either.
What?
It doesn't matter.
Well, it does matter.
Now I feel, now it's,
Making an
now,
accusation, and I
now,
told him to go ahead and build the building. He went to the Board of Appeals meeting like I did. Like, and did we approve Spring Garden when they built theirs? No, I don't think we did. They built theirs on, this is no different than Spring Garden.
I think one more talking about the impression being given that when the mayor of Taylorville speaks, that's how it's gonna go. When
I've never spoken
I
for the
understand, but maybe you
council.
should start enlightening people and saying, hey, I am all for it,
I am
gotta
for
get
it.
city council, but now keep in mind, that means 8 other people have to pass it.
I
So,
told him that, Travis, did I or did I not tell you you have to get council approval?
Yeah, but I was also informed that it probably won't get turned down. So I
Well,
went with
and
everything ready,
we
now
have
it's
not
an
turned
option.
one down yet.
That's what
I have
okay,
told you that, and that is fact.
that is
We have
fact,
not turned one down yet.
that's fact.
So, there's, and like I said, and so I did not misspeak, because that is, and I still feel that this is a revenue stream for the city. That the government should not tell somebody what they should and should not do with their own property.
I agree with you.
I'd say we got enough donut shops, but if somebody wants to open a donut shop, so to me, I see no difference.
I agree with you on all of
So-
that. You're getting away from the point of not alluding to the fact that you are the final say.
No, I only vote if it's a tie.
I understand, but
Correct.
see, but the public doesn't always know that. So they
Well,
don't know
I-
that, like when you're like, oh yeah, I'm all for it, it should
I
be
am
no
all-
problem.
I am all
Gotta
for
get
it.
council
I've been
approval.
for it, it's a good revenue sport.
Well, you probably should have said, hold off on building it, because we got
I
quite a
did not-
controversy
I
in the
did
city
not
right
tell
now with
him
gaming.
that- I did not tell him to go build it. I have told him, there's been votes 4-4, I have broken the tie.
That's true.
There's been votes 5-3.
Mhm.
I think the last vote was 5-3. So if he thought just because I was for it, it was going to pass, but no, I feel like it should. The city made $700,000 last year, fiscal year, in gaming fees and gaming revenue. You tell me a better source of income.
I'm not saying
for our
anything about
city.
that. I'm not
Everyone
saying
up here,
anything about that.
everyone up here voted 6-1 to give raises to our police chief and fire
Absolutely.
chief. Well, where are we gonna get this revenue from?
Nobody's-
If we don't get it from gaming, taxes, or fees?
I'm not arguing the fees and the taxes. I'm not arguing it's not a great idea. I'm not saying we don't need the revenue. All I'm saying is, stop making people think that you can make the calls.
I've never made
You
anybody
keep
think
going off on
that.
this. Okay,
I take
let's-
exception to that.
There's no way that having this revenue stream is gonna continue to climb when you have 40 gaming establishments in this town. You know, there's anywhere you can go, so alluding to the fact to anybody that we've never not passed one, well, in the beginning, it was Kathy and I were the only ones voting no.
Right,
And then it was Kathy and Steve.
okay,
And then Megan's voted no.
okay.
Doug's pushing on the edge.
Okay.
We should not allude to anybody at all that we, you know,
And I've been
college,
honest with
we've
what
never
they-
not passed one. I feel almost 100% sure that we'll get it, and I'll break the tie.
All
No,
right.
that's giving everybody a false sense that they're gonna get what they
All-
belong, and he's more than,
All
what'd
of
you
our
say,
votes are public
$20,000 into
record.
it?
I cannot change public record. Anybody in the city can go back and get any vote that we've made since I've been mayor. I will say, when I became mayor in May of 2017, 5 years ago, we had 24 establishments. As of June of this year, 5 years and 2 months later, we had 39. That's adding 3 a year. To me, that's not astronomical number when the state, back in 2017, had, say, and I want to throw this, gaming terminals had 24,000, and now they've got 45,000, so they've almost doubled, where we haven't doubled yet. So, as far as we more or less going along with people, the states and the municipalities found out this gaming is a pretty good revenue source. So, if you want to disallow all revenue sources, so,
We have one gaming parlor or one gaming establishment for every 282 citizens in this community.
okay.
That is, to me, ridiculous.
So, Mr. Bud?
The only thing I'm gonna say, what's happened tonight is not that gentleman's fault.
Right.
He was led to believe that he was good to go. So what I'm gonna do, I think I can do this, I wanna call for the vote.
Well, can I ask, it's
Call for the vote. No more, no more.
Well, I was gonna say a good.
Correct.
Yes.
All right, roll call.
Doug Brown,
I'm a very reluctant yes.
Okay.
Rick Bryant,
Yes.
Larry Bud,
Yes.
Steve Dorsones,
No.
Jim Olive,
Yes.
Fiscal Teddy,
No.
Jeremy Wilson,
Yes.
Motion passes 5-2.
Mr. Mayor, can I make a comment for the future? Is that I think, I don't think it just is a third doorstep alone. He must have got a building permit.
No.
So in the future,
It started
Andy,
right.
you need to know that building permits for Class O license has to go to the city council.
The Class O only is.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Class
all.
O.
Yeah,
Just
Class O.
Right.
Because I think Spring Garden went for a Class C.
The difference there, so only Class O, Andy, no building permit, it comes to the council. That's what's supposed to happen in the future.
Thank you. Motion to approve 2022-2023 LP gas burn price contract with Central Commodity FS for the Lake Department at a cost of $2.26 per gallon cash payment option and direct mayor to sign.
So moved.
Motion by Alderman Bryant, second.
Second.
Alderman Bud, questions or comments?
Was this something got, I seen this, and it was something that got passed over in the first go around when we.
No, we didn't have a lake committee meeting last week, so Jeffrey asked
Oh,
to
okay.
put this on there. This
All right.
is new, so,
All right.
all right. Roll call?
Megan Bryant,
Yes.
Larry Bud,
Yes.
Steve Dorsones,
Yes.
Olive,
Yes.
Chris Teddy,
Yes.
Jeremy Wilson,
Yes.
Doug Brown,
Yes.
Motion carries 7-0. Motion to approve the purchase of 2 at-a-glance 38 float gauges and 2 Fill-Rite 17 GMP pumps with no meter for the Lake Department at a cost not to exceed $2,500, including installation.
So moved.
Motion by Alderman Bud, second.
Second.
Alderman Brown, questions or comments? Roll call.
Larry Bud,
Yes.
Steve Dorsones.
Yes.
Jim Mullin,
Yes.
Chris Popetti,
Yes.
Jeremy Wilson,
Yes.
Doug Brown,
Yes.
Megan Bryan.
Yes.
Motion carries 7-0. Motion to approve and accept a proposal from Louis Marsh for 23,900 gallons of bituminous oil, HFE 150 for motor fuel section 22-0000-00-GM at a cost of $3.50 per gallon for a total cost of $83,650. Motion, Alderman Wilson, second.
Second.
Alderman Bryant, questions or comments? Roll call.
Steve Dorsones.
Yes.
Jim Mullin,
Yes.
Chris Popetti,
Yes.
Jeremy Wilson,
Yes.
Doug Brown,
Yes.
Megan Bryan,
Yes.
Larry Bud.
Yes.
Motion carries 7-0. Motion to approve and accept a proposal from Nokomis Quarry Company for 1,000 tons of surface coarse crushed stone, CA6 for motor fuel tax section 22-0000-00-GM at a cost of $9 per ton for a total cost of $9,000. Motion by
So moved.
Alderman Wilson, second.
Second.
Alderman Olive, questions or comments? Roll call.
Jim Mullin,
Yes.
Chris Popetti,
Yes.
Jeremy Wilson,
Yes.
Doug Brown,
Yes.
Megan Bryan,
Yes.
Larry
Yes.
Dorsones.
Yes.
Motion carries 7-0. Motion to approve and accept a proposal from Nokomis Quarry Company for 1,000 tons of surface coarse crushed stone, CA7 for motor fuel tax section 22-000000-00-GM at a cost of $16.75 per ton for a total cost of $16,750. Motion by Alderman Wilson, second.
Second.
Alderman Olive, questions or comments? Roll call.
Chris Popetti,
Yes.
Jeremy Wilson,
Yes.
Doug Brown,
Yes.
Megan Bryan,
Yes.
Larry Bud,
Yes.
Steve Dorsones.
Yes.
Jim Mullin.
Yes.
Motion carries 7-0. Motion to approve and accept a proposal from Nokomis Quarry Company for 1,000 tons of steel coat aggregate crushed stone, CA16 for MFT section 22-0000-00-GM at a cost of $16.75 per ton for a total of $16,750. Motion,
So moved.
Alderman Wilson, second.
Second.
Alderman Bryant, questions or comments? Roll call.
Jeremy Wilson,
Yes.
Doug Brown,
Yes.
Megan Bryan,
Yes.
Larry Bud,
Yes.
Steve Dorsones.
Yes.
Jim Mullin,
Yes.
Chris Popetti.
Yes.
Motion carries 7-0. Motion to approve the mayor's letter to Kelly Hamel concerning resolution of sick leave, vacation time, and personal day issues. Motion,
Motion with comment.
Alderman Bryant, second.
Second.
Second, Alderman Skoltedi, comment, Alderman Bryant.
Was, Kelly able to review this, the information to make sure she was okay with,
I don't think she's seen it yet.
shouldn't she?
Well, this is your decision, not hers. She can reject it.
Okay.
I don't know, have you seen it, Kelly?
If somebody was writing a letter about, or stating things about me, I would want to see it before it
It's
was,
a proposal. I mean, she either accepts it or doesn't accept it.
it doesn't say proposal.
Well, this is her decision. If she approves it, she signs the letter. If she doesn't approve it, then you'll have to just take different course.
Oh, okay, so it won't be, she'll have the chance to say, okay, okay,
That's what,
okay,
it's approval and acceptance on the bottom.
okay.
Yeah.
Any
I didn't read all the way to the bottom.
Any other questions or comments?
Makes a difference when you do.
I did, I just.
Questions or comments? Roll call.
Doug Brown,
Yes.
Megan Bryan,
Yes.
Larry Bud,
No.
Dorchenez,
No.
Jim Olive,
Yes.
Chris Teddy,
Yes.
Jeremy Wilson.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-2. City attorney update.
Three quick matters. First of which is Rural Energy, REE, Brian Mallett, got ahold of the mayor and myself late last week and told us that in his application for the water treatment plant for the project out there with Ameren came back and basically said that the solar array, there's already one in existence, that if they wanted to allow it to go forward, that the RE is gonna have to downsize the system by, I think, 30% is what I think he was telling us, which equates the money, instead of, according to Brian, instead of the city saving 1.6 million over the years, it'll be like 1.2 million. What you have, what I sent to you in an email that you'll, if you wish, to take a look at, and then at the next council meeting, vote it up or down, a first amendment to the REE that you signed that blesses them to go forward with the reduced system and to get their application approved by Ameren before somebody else jumps on it. Apparently there's a certain capacity, and somebody was already on it. So there is some sense of urgency, according to Brian, that we move forward with it. So is there any questions about that first amendment that I sent to you guys?
Is Marlin okay with the downsize?
Yes. I would, this is the first I've heard that, but it's only gonna,
Yeah, it was going down to I don't understand all these KWDCs, but it's gonna be reduced to 438.5 KWDC, which apparently is about a 30% reduction from what they thought. But they're trying to get the maximum amount of Ameren that they can, and this apparently is they don't. So, hands are kinda tied, so you won't be voting on this tonight, but it'll come up at the council meeting. So, second matter is that I've been in contact with Jamie Hedden out of the engineer's office. They're working on a project, I guess, to reroute your water main there in front of Steak and Shake, is to abandon it. There's been discussion about that. And running it up on the east side on your roadway, Wellmac Drive, and then cutting across back west towards Route 29. So we're in negotiations with, I believe, it hasn't been sold yet, but there's an entity called Core Ventures LLC. I sent you that information, I think, today, that may be the ones that's gonna buy it. We think it may be a Starbucks. So it'll be, I think, Jamie's gonna be talking with them about getting an easement there. If not, we have a backup plan to go with Morton, because they've signed annexation agreement. They would have to give us an easement. It would necessitate moving the water line a little bit north. So that's in the works right now. And then finally, I've given you the information about American Tower, that they're stuck on the $250,000 offer. They're not gonna budge on it. You may wanna take it back to committee and talk about it again. It's up to you. It might be worth the discussion, but I've had a conversation with this Jody Woodson, and I says there any middle ground, and they're topped out at 250. So you might want to go back to committee and talk about it. And if your answer is unequivocally no, then I'll report that to next meeting.
Well, we won't be able to do it Thursday night because it's not on our agenda.
Yeah, we can do this next month. I don't think there's any
But we can discuss it.
crushing deadline on
We
it.
can't make any decisions.
Right. Any questions about those three? Okay, that's it.
Mayoral update. Thank you to Journey in July for the excellent event this past weekend. Tomorrow, the Christian County Fair will begin with many events. Hope to see everyone out there. The East Main Cross project seems to be going very well. We are still waiting to hear on the downtown grant plus the federal money for West Main Cross. Hopefully in the next week or two, we will begin oiling and chipping roads in the Ward 2 area. I asked other aldermen in other wards to get a list of roads in their wards that need this. As you drive through town, there's many roads that need oiled and chipped, so I'd like to get a list and see if we can't get that done yet this year. Thank you. Committee reports. Discussions and/or motions to approve, adopt, and/or deny, and/or table, and/or amend, and/or refer to an appropriate committee in whole or in part. The matters regarding the following subject matters discussed at the committee level. Personnel,
You want me to read it for you?
if you would.
Motion to recommend to City Council to approve the hiring of a lateral police officer.
Motion by Alderman Bryant, second. Second. Alderman Dorsones, questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Emergency services.
First is a motion to recommend to the City Council to approve the purchase of one police bicycle and required safety gear at a cost not to exceed $1,500.
Motion by Alderman Bryant, second.
Second.
Alderman Olive, questions or comments?
To be paid out of a $2,000 grant.
That is correct.
Thank you.
Roll call.
Megan Bryant?
Yes.
Larry Bud?
Yes.
Steve Dorsones?
Yes.
Jim Olive?
Yep.
Fiscal Teddy?
Yes.
Jeremy Wilson?
Yes.
Doug Mogul?
Yes.
Motion carries 7-0.
Next is a motion to recommend to the City Council to approve the purchase of a left software for the police department at a cost not to exceed $2,850 per year.
Motion by Alderman Bryant, second.
Second.
Alderman Dorsones, questions or comments? Roll call.
Larry Bud?
Yes.
Steve Dorsones?
Yes.
Olive?
Jim.
Yes.
Fiscal Teddy?
Yes.
Jeremy Wilson?
Yes.
Doug Mogul?
Yes.
Megan Bryant?
Yes.
Motion carries 7-0. Motion to approve and or ratify payment of bills, $461,134.78. Motion by Alderman Bud, second.
Second.
Alderman Bryant, questions or comment? Comment, Alderman Bud?
Health Alliance for the health insurance, $112,005. Electric, $10,707.66. Fuel, $41,305.58. Garbage, $2,996.80. ACE, Farm and Home, Taylorville Feed, and Ron's, and Urban, $2,120.64. Computer Tech, $5,170.12. Morrison Electric, $2,092.94. Neil Tire, $4,138.80. Terry Prince, $3,465. Pages Auto Body, $3,453. This is for a car that we damaged to pay for the body work. Illinois Department of Revenue for the fuel sales tax at the airport and the lake, $2,006. Downtown Taylorville.org, $8,571.28. Taylorville Chamber Chili Fest, $8,000. United Capital Funding, this is temporary help, $5,874.12. BDD and TIF, Jacob and Klein, $1,956. Economic Development, $7,824, and two drivers, Tuck Pointing, $32,000. Police Department, Gracie Humata, $2,040. Street Department, Truman and Flats, $136,492.71. Lewis Morris, $28,195.75. Tacoma's Quarry, $1,237.95. CCI, $1,724.25. FS for Roundup, $1,188.28. Sewer Department, Vanderbilt Veteran Engineering, $6,201.92. Water Department, Chemicals, $7,056.19. Hydrokinetics for a control panel, $3,483. Leasehold of $441,306.99.
Roll call.
Steve Dorsones?
Yes.
Jim Olive?
Yes.
Fiscal Teddy?
Yes.
Jeremy Wilson?
Yes.
Doug Brown?
Yes.
Megan Bryant?
Yes.
Larry Bud?
Yes.
Motion carries 7-0. First, paragraph G of 5 ILCS 120/2.06. This portion of the city council meeting is reserved for any person wishing to address the council on any relevant subject matters concerning the city. The Illinois Open Meeting Act 5 ILCS 120/1 et C mandates no action shall be taken on subject matters not listed on the agenda, but the council may direct staff to address the topic or refer the subject matter to a future council and/or committee meeting. If anyone wishes to address the council, please provide your name and address, limit your comments or presentation to 3 minutes, and avoid repetitious comments. Anyone like to speak? I have one thing to say. I've been getting some phone calls about merchants in this area, some in this town, some outside the town, not charging the correct tax amount, even charging more than 8, 9, or whatever, depending on what district they're in. So if you guys, as you go, will you please bring me your receipts in so I can double check them with the Department of Revenue, so we are getting the tax revenue that we deserve, and our constituents, more importantly, are not getting overtaxed. So, had a few phone calls last week, a couple this morning, and, so something I'm gonna look into in the next week. So bring your, sales receipts in, and I will figure up the tax for it. All right? Anything else? Motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Alderman Bryant, second. Alderman Olive, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. We are adjourned. Hope
Yes,
you
sir.
feel better, Julie.
Get well.
Oh.